only minutes laakiin haddaan in yar ka taabto Dr. Jama Musse Jama waa founderkii iyo mootay directorka iminka xarunta dhaqanka ee Hargeysa oo aan odhan karo waa meelihii ugu horreysay ee maanta markan la eego soo noqoshadan dambe ee muxuu ahaa dowladnimada Somaliland waa meeshii ugu horreysay ee xarun dhaqameed Soomaalina maanta marka la eego waa meelaha ugu horeeya waxa kaloo uu ahaa Dr. Jama Musse Jama founderkii ama qofkii ugu horreeyay bilaabay barnaamijkan iminka meelo badan gaadhay taxanaha ee book fairska ilaa iminkana isaga gacanta ku haya Hargeysa book fairs marka doctorku waa doctor khibrad badan u leh meelo badan Somalilandna muddo badan oo ahaa ku soo jiray marka waxaan aad baan ugu faraxsanahay inuu maanta inagala soo qayb galay barnaamijkan waxaan ku soo dhaweyn on microphone-ka siin Dr. Jama Musse Jama inuu isagu halkaa inooga amba qaado topican ah maxay Somaliland ka faa'iideysan kartaa dimuqraadiyadda soo dhisantay ee soo bislaatay muddo badan ay kusoo jirtay Tori kusoo dhawow
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين waxaan aad iyo aad ugu faraxsanahay inaan qayb ka ahaado aad baan kaga mahadcelinayaa Dr. Cabdifataax iyo tiimka Hanuun University waxaan maan hubin inaan af Ingiriisi ku hadlayo iyo inaan af Soomaali ku hadlayo waanaan dareensanahay in scholarkii nala joogay Dr. Richard aanu af Soomaaliga ku hadal so probably from time to time I will be summarizing in English just for him to understand where I am headed to maadaama majority dadka ku jira ina dhegeysanayana ay dad af Soomaaliga ku hadla yihiin waxaan isku dayi doonaa inaan mowduuca la dhiibay taabto anigoo mararka qaarkood isaga gudbaya labada afo marka hayga raali ahaada haddii aan halkaasi waxoogaa confusion ay keento waxaan doonayaa inaan u hambalyeeyo sharafna way ii tahay inaan qayb ka noqdo mowduucyada noocan oo kale ah maaha nuxurka mowduuca marka laga hadlayo laakiin waxaan u jeedaa jaamacadaha sida uu doctorku inoo sheegay qaybaha kala duwan ee had iyo jeer qaybta ugu dambaysa ama cilmi baadhista amba in ay bulshada ku xidhanto oo loo gudbiyo aqoonta la dheliyey maxaan ku dhahdaa dee maaragtay communitygeena way maqnaayeen waayo maalinba meelba sidii lakab baa la saarayay maalinba meel bay jaamacadaheena iyo iskuuladeena soo marayeen marka maanta inuu nasiibka soo gaadhay inay jaamacadaheenu yeeshaan xarumo cilmi baadhiseed iyo inay most importantly gaadhaan oo wajiyo kala duwan aqoonta u gudbiyaan ay Hanuun University-na ka noqoto maaragtay lead arrimaha caynkaas oo weliba joogtayso aad iyo aad baan ugu hambalyeynaya marka having said that the topic I was asked to talk about is opportunity for Somaliland from the last elections. I think there are three types of opportunities that I feel that they are reality rather than expected or presumed or sort of doubtful. I think they are reality, that these three types of opportunities. One is for Somalilanders, for the community, for the coexistence, for rebuilding the country and to take forward what has been done for the last 10 years. And I will come back on it, inshallah. So the other thing is also for the outside. There is a huge opportunity for non-Somalilanders, and I mean the international community that are dealing with us to have a clear image of who they are dealing with. So this is also an opportunity for outsiders. And the third and the last, I think, big opportunity and from this election is specifically for the current government, and I will come back also on that. The reason I'm dividing in this way is that it's too big to say what kind of immediate opportunity that can come from the elections. When it comes to the elections and the peaceful transition that happened, nothing new happened in Somaliland. This is a practice that we were doing for the last 30 years. So the building of democracy in Somaliland, and that's why it is not, we are not talking about a new thing that happened. We are talking about a confirmation of what Somalilanders are when it comes to how they are serious about building democracy and the kind of a unique democratic value that we have. So why for Somalilanders? I think one thing is that the trust within that was much needed in this situation. We came to these elections at the kind of a tiring campaign, which sometimes touched issues and unfortunately overlapped on clan issues, but Somalilanders were coming so divided and tired on the edge of the campaign. The opportunity that we got is that we kind of sorted out, and that's the value of Somalilanders. We made that challenge as an opportunity to tell to the world that Somaliland are serious about the independence, the recognition, the coexistence, and at some point there is a one group, there is a one person, there is a elite, there is a sort of leadership in this country who say, no, we cannot go beyond that, because of beyond that means touching the existence of Somaliland. So everything comes back to where we started. So trust within, trust in the system, trust the government, trust within the democratic values that we used to have and we still have, and we one more time prove it. So that's so within trust within Somalilanders. The second point within Somalilanders is that this is a strong PR for the international eyes. So whoever was thinking that Somalilanders might have problems mainly in the transition time, they have been proved wrong. So this is a strong PR for Somaliland when we are dealing on the tables, when it comes to the independence of Somaliland, when it comes to the recognition, when it comes to the dealing with the economic ties, but most importantly, when dealing political side of the international community and the so-called, the friends of Somaliland from the international community. So number two, because it's a strong PR for Somaliland. The third point is that the government is becoming strong. We have here a government that won 64%, which is strong and incredibly trust from the people. And what the government is has such a mandate, they can dare and do something fundamental that this country needs. When it comes to touching the services, when it comes to the revising the health issues, educational issue, the government has the power. Not only it has been trusted by the electorate, so they got 64%, which is a big number, but also the government is also strong in the parliament. So there is a big opportunity for Somaliland that the government can dare and do something good for Somaliland and that they can deliver. This is something so fundamental that we underestimate. When you have the trust of the people, the president is really strong in terms of he is sitting there with 64% of the electorate. He has good support from the parliament. And if he does something good for Somaliland, I'm sure this will be easier for him to deliver from that power that has been entrusted by the Somalilanders. So this is also another big opportunity and another opportunity from these elections, which rarely happened in the past, to have good support from the parliament and have in the same time good confirmation from the ballot. So this is extremely fundamental. So the current government can do really big changes in all services that we need, in fundamental, and they can take hard decisions, let us say, because of they have the support. So for these three items, I will stop for Somalilanders, the big opportunities that we got from these last elections. The second point is to the message to the outside. And here I'm divided into two groups. This is a message, a strong message to the ill-fated enemies of Somaliland. Those who were expecting that probably after the elections, disturbance might happen. Those who were expecting that somehow there will be a confrontation between the outgoing government and the incoming government. All those people have been proven wrong. And this is a strong message that despite of our differences when it comes, and that's the nature of the elections, differences within when it comes to the Somaliland, no one can dare to go beyond that limit. And that's the message from Somaliland. It's not from the previous government. It's not from this current government, but it's a strong message from the people of Somaliland. So this is a strong message that mainly because of the peaceful and beautiful, I would say, transition that's happening, they got the message. So this is for this group of who had somehow hatred for Somaliland and the process of the democratization. The other group is those who were willing to support Somaliland or in any way looking at, and not because of they love Somalilanders, but because of we have common interests, mainly from those countries that we have economic ties with, and it could be the Emirates, it could be some of the Gulf countries, it could be some of the European countries, and also those who we had the same values when it comes to the democratic process and the system we decided to take, mainly from the USA in this moment, and the bloc that the United States of America is leading. The reason I'm saying this is because of course, Somaliland at the moment is seen with the interest. It is on the table of any discussion, on a big discussion that's happening. It is for every place where decision is being taken, Somaliland is under discussion. It's not like even 10 years ago or 20 years ago, where the word Somaliland was new to some tables. So now, the fact that we have the Republicans and mainly the Trump government coming in the United States, there are two things that are happening together. One is because of our relation with America has always been hindered and somehow not seen well by the State Department rather than the military side of America. So the defense, we were always connected, and there was a good relation with the defense side of the United States of America. Our problem was the State Department and the foreign, let us say, foreign policy. And that's changing. The people who are taking over in this one by one, working within the United States of America, new government, and the Trump team had many people inside who are strong, who are supporters of Somaliland. And they were supporting Somaliland yesterday, and they started immediately before even taking the office to support the case of Somaliland. So there is a big opportunity for Somaliland and USA to make a stronger ties and deepen the ties, because the ties existed before. Now, the fact that we have such a wonderful elections that Somalilanders spoke, the fact that we had a sitting president that lost in the elections, which is rare in this part of the world, and which is rare in many African countries, and not only African countries. The fact that a peaceful transition is happening, which is such a grace and such a wonderful and colorful way, it gives a strong message to anyone who had doubts about Somaliland democracy and where we are headed to. So this is a big opportunity coming from these elections that we might have, the chance not to get the election, the old excuses that the Western countries use it about the recognition of Somaliland, saying that it's an African issue, so we have to go back to the African countries. But this time, it might happen that the leadership of the most strongest, leadership in the West countries can fully support and initiate the recognition of Somaliland. So this is another big opportunity that, existed before, but because of the elections that we had and because of the way that we dealt with and dealing with it may make easier for everyone to come with us, along us, and take the reality on the ground into consideration and accept. So the reality on the ground, not only in Somaliland, but also acknowledging let's say the region that we found ourselves, a disturbed and somehow complicated part of the world, and they may come forward and not only probably the names that you expect, whether it's the US or other countries, but many other countries might come forward in the next couple of weeks and talk about openly talk about the recognition of Somaliland. So this is also another opportunity coming from the way that the elections has been done, the way that the elections have been won and accepted, and then the peaceful transition came. Now, one last point I want to mention is that we need to wait the USA government sitting down and see the first actions that they will do, because the engagement with Africa was not definitely a pillar for the first Trump administration. What's coming now as a message looks different. It's not only on Somaliland, but there is a huge interest from America towards Africa because of economic ties, because of the resources, because of the raw material. So there is a shift for the last decade that was coming towards the interest of America in Africa in terms of economic ties. Probably that will change hugely in the Trump administration. And in that case, we have two big opportunities that are coming together. And because of the location that Somaliland found itself, on the Red Sea issue, on the Bab el-Mandeb, and the Gulf of Berbera, all those elements are putting us in a front runner to be on the table. Is that the world is taking some sort of a decision. So this is supported by the elections. So in short, fursadaynu haysanaa ee doorashada ka timi aad bay uga culus tahay tii aynu hore u haysanay. Marka ku celin maayo, waan ogahay dadka halkan ku jira levelka inay maaragtay discussionadii hore Ingiriisiba ka qayb qaadanayeen. Marka mar raba inaan ku celiyo, waxaan rabaa waqtigeena safe gareeyo wixii maxaan ku dhahdaa su'aale yimaada baan af Soomaali kaga jawaabi doonaa si aan u kala cadeeyo wixii ay ku jiraan tashuush. aad baad u mahadsantahay doctor, adigay kugu soo noqotay.